Okay, welcome. Thank you for joining me for this Koga workshop series. I do look forward to sharing the practice of Koga with you over the coming 4 weeks. It has transformed my relationship with my own body, my relationship with movement, and it's given me just a source of pleasure and good in my daily life. I've become truly fascinated with all the different ways that my body can move, and even though my body is still limited, I do have some health issues, but when you're doing Koga, it doesn't really matter. It doesn't matter what doesn't work because you're focusing on what does work. So I was thinking, let's just start by doing some stretching. I don't know about you, but I've been sitting the entire day. So let's just stretch out and just wake up our body just a little bit, even though I'm going to be talking at the beginning. But let's just maybe add a twist. My back is cracked. Just get in there and just make sure that wake yourself back up. Okay. So this workshop is 4 weeks long. The first two are going to be just seated, so you need a chair where your butt is supported, but your back is not. And then the final two will be standing-based exercises. So I was really hoping to do floor work because floor is super fun. I enjoy it. But obviously being RTO5 and being back in the office, laying around on the floor isn't something fun to do in the office, I don't think. So we're just going to do sitting and standing exercises. So some relevant background about me is that on one hand, I'm an electrical engineer by training. So scientist, born and bred. I love my data. I love my science. I love things that have been proven by others. But over the years, I've realized that when you're restricting yourself to only that which has been proved by others and proved by science, then you're actually missing out on a lot of possibility of what it means to be human. Like we're figuring it out as we go. So it's a little restricting, and I've been learning to be more open-minded to things, because you're kind of giving all your power and exploration away if you only want to experience things that you've read about or someone else has told you to do. And Koga is about looking within yourself. So I was diagnosed with autoimmunity back in 2012. I do have a lot of joint issues and fatigue issues, and had trouble with exercise for that reason. It sucked. It felt bad, and I didn't enjoy it, and I always resulted in problems. And was just trying to get through it, right? And I ended up just learning everything about immunity and trying to figure out what I can do through food and diet and nutrition. And I ended up being a holistic, I got certified as a holistic health coach. But then I also started to realize that there's a lot more than just nutrition, that was kind of limited. And I got into energy medicine, Reiki. I don't know if you've heard about Reiki. It's even starting to be used in hospitals for cancer treatment and things like that. And movement is so essential to the health of our body. Even if we are battling something, or especially when we're battling something, we really do need movement in some form or fashion in our bodies. So all the vitamins and bone broth in the world, won't do what movement does to the human experience. So in the coming 4 weeks, I hope to help you try this practice out for yourself and see if it shifts something for you. And I'm sure I will be learning new things along the way as well. So to kick things off, I'd love to talk about some science because I do still love it, and I often find motivation through science. And we've all been trained to love and rely on science so much. Our brains need this, right? Our brains want to know that this is worth our precious time. Time is so valuable. It's why should I be doing this with my time? So first up is to get some parasympathetic healing. How many people have heard about the parasympathetic nervous system? That's our rest and digest system. That is opposed to the sympathetic nervous system, which is, of course, the fight or flight system. So the rest and digest system is very important to healing, health, mental health, physical health, all things. It helps the body relax after stressful situations. It slows the heart rate. It reduces blood pressure, reduces muscle tension. It improves digestion and increases blood flow to all the digestive organs, which obviously, if you're getting better blood flow, that means you're probably extracting more nutrition out of the healthy foods you're hopefully trying to eat, and you're getting more value that way as well. The parasympathetic nervous system also improves immune function, which is super important, especially during cold and flu season like we're in right now. And it also promotes a general sense of well-being. So positive emotions increase parasympathetic nervous system activity, while negative emotions basically shut it down. And so anxious thoughts, demanding emails, lack of sleep, food sensitivities, all these things kind of spin up the stress system and spin down the healing system. So e.g. light stimulates the sympathetic nervous system. And if we have a health challenge, we need to shift our equation to get more healing into our daily lives to balance that out. So we need to shift our practices in our daily life to get more of this parasympathetic nervous system activation. And meditation and mindfulness are the poster children for achieving that, of course. And but the trick is to find the flavor that works for you, right? The other reason to let your brain know that this could be worth your time is that this practice obviously gets you some exercise. So another thing, we know we're supposed to exercise. Like, we've been told that enough time. We know it's important, right? We know how valuable it is to our health equation. And it really is. Movement is absolutely essential in some form or fashion. Obviously, we're going to be starting out very small, right? We're going to start out with just the spine, because the house is like a house, or the body's like a house where we're building it from the foundation, right? So we want to make sure that we're fully supported before we start doing like full body, expressive activities. And those are amazingly fun, but you don't start there, at least not unless you are already in great shape, which I was not. So movement is so important because, the cardiac system has a pump for all the blood. We have the heart is the pump, and it takes care of that system. But the lymphatic system, the lymphatic system is the one involved in removing all the waste products and toxins from our body. And that system has no pump. We literally are the pump. When we move our bodies around, we are cycling that lymph and allowing our body to clean out, that garbage from our cells. But exercise, in our society has been kind of ruined, in my opinion. It's like on your to-do list, it's this forced thing, this another chore that's on my list, that I just have to get through to check a box. And often we do it like distracted by TV and just disconnected entirely. So if you're forcing yourself to do something that you don't want to do, that's not really self-care. Like, yes, it's still better than not doing it at all, but it's not really self-care because the body is not going to be in an energetic state of healing and building. The other thing with exercise is that there's just so many programs and people out there saying and showing you how you should be moving your body for health. And it's a lot of conflicting advice. And who do you choose to believe, And I was like, I don't want you to believe me either. I just want you to try it for yourself and see if you can start listening to yourself and then find your own answers. So always take time to listen to your own body. So I thank you for having some interest in this and joining me and trusting me to kind of open up and share this together. So Koga at its core is, of course, movement meditation. So it's very embodied. And there's nothing against, I don't have anything against sedentary meditation. I do that as well. But I kind of have started to conclude that stillness and breath meditation, where you just sit there and breathe and, it's kind of expired in our society. We think about that because we learn from all these things from like the monks, that have done this, but life has changed so much since then, right? Like monks chopped wood and carried water and, people that people did laundry, you had to like scrub and wring and scrub and wring and scrub and wring and go hang it up. People just had so much physical activity to get through their day that it makes sense that their balance would be, okay, I'm going to sit in stillness, right? But obviously now our daily life, for a lot of us, is the converse of that, right? Where I sit at a computer all day long, so my balance isn't going to be more sitting, right? It's going to be movement. So it's kind of like changing with the times. It seems like combining movement with meditation is a very synergistic power to our healing, and probably what we need a lot of, because we're sitting too much and we're also too frazzled and stressed. So we kind of can combat both of those in one fell swoop. So that's why I find it very powerful. The other reason that I enjoy Koga is, again, because it's focusing on what feels good. You're always going to follow what feels good. You're not working into an injury. Like anything that I'm guiding through, if you know you have an injury in a certain area, then clearly ignore what I'm saying and do something much more gentle or adjusted or different altogether, right? Like you always want to listen to yourself, and you always want to go towards what your body is responding favorably to. And if you do that enough, then it will be a pleasant activity, right? It's a pleasant activity. It feels good because you're staying where things feel good. And then you're drawn to do it again, right? Then it's like, oh, that felt good. I want to do that again. So you can be, instead of forcing yourself to do something out of guilt, you can be drawn to do something that you found that is pleasant or interesting in some way. So Koga keeps calling me back for those reasons, right? Like I like it. It's always interesting because proprioception, which is the mind's ability to like visualize and sense into space, that absolutely grows. Just like when you first try to learn how to ride a bike, not so good, but if you do it a lot more, you get really good at riding a bike. Like that's what humans do, right? Like the more you do something, it will grow and get better and more finesse. And it's like really cool. Like it's just, I've been fascinated by it. I really have. So Koga is all about being in the body. Like when I'm practicing Koga, literally nothing else exists, right? It's a completely inner focused meditation. And to what something looks like from the outside is actually pretty irrelevant. Like case in point, like hold your arm up to the side, 90-degree angle, right? And now we're going to make a small motion just up and down, right? But only do it from this top muscle. So only this top muscle is going to like lift it up and relax it down and lift and try to just there, and you might feel some activation or something up here. And then now let that muscle turn off and now do the exact same motion just from down here. So just push up from the bottom, just release from the bottom, just push up from the bottom, and then you might feel some stuff down here activate. Now, obviously, it looked exactly the same from the outside. So anytime you've ever watched any aerobic person or, any fitness thing ever, you have absolutely no idea what they're actually doing inside their body, what they're supporting inside their body. So it's so dilute, from its pure essence, for lack of a easier way to say that. So when we are in Koga, we are being entirely in our body. So we're in kind of three things. We're always in meditation, or rather, we're trying to stay out of our thinking mind to the best extent possible, right? It never shuts up. We all know that, right? The practice is every single time it jumps back in, you're like, no. The second one is movement, right? We're always going to be like an engaged, embodied presence within ourselves, even though the thinking mind, again, is going to show up and try to judge that. It's going to try to say, oh, it's not enough. Oh, it's not right. It's not, no. There isn't an external criteria of how much movement is good for your health. Anything that you enjoy and you like it, then you're gonna be more interested to do it again. And if you keep doing it, then that is what is good for your health. Trying something huge, having it go horribly, getting injured, and then quitting is obviously not, long-term success. So if you are liking something and you have a good mindset and positive growth, it's going to be conducive to healing, because obviously if you're enjoying it, again, that ties back to that parasympathetic nervous system that we learned about, that we're feeling good, so we're activating that nervous system as well, which again just gives more synergy for that healing that's going on. And then again, so meditation, movement, gratitude. We are always focusing on what is working, right? Are you a cup half full person, or are you a cup half empty person? You know, there's a difference between working around what's wrong and dwelling on what's wrong. Like I used to just dwell on how I was restricted and the things I couldn't do, whereas this is focused on what feels good. We have been given, you know, so much, like our body is like literally infinite in the amount of ways and different combinations of muscles, like all the way through the body, that it's like such a shame that our exercise is just so rigid, you know, it's so restricted when we have like all this to work with. Like, why do we just work out just this fiber and this fiber? Like our body is our toy, you know, like it's meant to be played with, it's meant to be explored. And how it looks or not, like how it looks from the outside really doesn't matter. Like we're trained to think that it does, right? Like dance is supposed to be some beautiful production from the outside. But no, from the aspects of health, it does not matter how it looks. It matters how it feels. And if you're enjoying yourself, you know, your body is a miracle, right? It's the only one you're going to get for this lifetime. So it's about experiencing all that it can be rather than focusing on what it can't. So I always kind of go through 3 fluid parts when I'm working on the practice. Basically, I deep dive slowly on whatever area I'm working on. Obviously, we're going to be working on the spine today. But then I also alternate in with massage, right? So like whenever, if you've worked out something a whole lot and you feel that hopefully good burn that stores up from that intention, like breaking into massage whenever it calls for, or if something doesn't feel good, if you like kind of nudged into something that might be an injury area, like as soon as you feel that, like just take a break, stop, massage, work it back out. I've been working on a knee injury for a long time, and whenever I kind of push it a little too far, it's like stop, rub it out and massage and reconnect with the body. So we'll always be kind of cycling through those kind of things, and obviously with this I'm guiding it, so I'm going to be kind of calling those out. But if you were doing it on your own, those would be the kind of things you kind of just like go in between, and then like that, and just dance, just putting on music that you love and just feeling that rhythm in that small portion of your body, you know, like kind of using the music actually as a tool to explore whatever portion of the body that you are kind of like trying to wake up from the inside out. The only thing I do have to show you, so as they say, a picture is worth 1,000 words. So in this case, a whimsical visual aid is worth 1,000 words. So do you remember these from when we were a kid? Like, or at least when I was a kid, right? You push the button and it collapses, and then it pops up when you let go. I think this is the best depictor of what Koga is to me, right? So like this is the way like I normally am if I'm not paying attention, right? Like just collapsed into all my joints and the weight of me into all my joints. And this is how we are when we're doing embodied movement meditation. So normal, embodied movement. That's what we're channeling when we do this practice. So think of the giraffe. And with that, we're going to start diving in here. So I will be guiding you with suggestions, of course, but again, reminder that always listen to yourself, always make a change or lessen or step back from anything that doesn't feel good, and usually always go smaller or slower. You know, in mindful movement, less is actually more. So if it doesn't feel good, stop, massage it out, and then go back to something different. So with that, I will ask you to, so if you're in the office, just take a visual scan of your room, because we're going to be closing your eyes. Make sure that you feel like you're in a safe, comfortable place in which to do that. So just look around, you know, notice your ceiling for the fun of it, notice your floor, just see what's around you, maybe try to find something red and something yellow, just taking your environment a little bit. And then when you feel like you're, settled in and safe and good and ready, I invite you to, like we said, we're in a chair, hopefully, where your butt is supported and your back is, you're not leaning against something, right? So you're sitting up. And just settle in, and when you're ready, please close your eyes. All right. So I'd like to start us off with an intention. So obviously we have 4 weeks together, and I wanted to pick an intention that could probably apply to all people that would be interested in this sort of thing, and that's that I want to connect with myself in a new way. I want to connect with myself in a new way. So what would that mean to you? Or what could that mean? Sit for a moment with just some open possibility about what it could mean if you connected with yourself in a new way. How would it feel if you had a positive relationship with your body? There's no way to fail in doing this practice. You are just simply surrendering your time. We're going to stop looking outside of ourselves for answers on what is good for our body. So I'd like you to just take a deep breath in and let it all out. And take another deep breath in. And this time when you let it all out, push it just a little more out. Just push that exhale just a little bit more. And then, relax your breathing back to normal. But when you breathe in the next time, notice how your lungs expand and contract. And notice how on your inhale you can feel your rib cage expand. You might be able to feel your clothes shifting on your body. You can feel your skin rubbing against different contours. Maybe bring the next breath down into the belly. Let the belly expand and contract. You might even want to place a hand on your stomach and just feel that breath come down into your stomach and release. And down and release. And just settle into your awareness of your entire body. Your head, your neck, your shoulders. Maybe give your shoulders another. Just roll them around. Just relax them. Shake them out a little bit. Just see how they feel. Think about your heart. Thank your heart for pumping blood all over your body. Maybe place a hand on your chest and just connect with that energy center there that's in the center of our body. Think about your stomach and your intestines that help you digest and process all the food you eat and turn it into the energy and nutrition in your body. Sense into your legs, your knees, your calves, your feet. And as you have your feet placed on the floor, just give them a little push and just really, really connect them to the floor a little bit better. And then on one foot, pick one foot and just apply a little more pressure. And can you sense into the pressure that you feel on your heel, the ball of your foot, and maybe your big toe and your little toes? Can you engage your toes or any part of your foot a little bit more to kind of equalize the pressure. If you were going to distribute the pressure that you are applying on your foot equally, how would you engage your foot differently? Kind of engage that fully. And now switch to the other side and do the same thing. Apply a little bit of pressure and then notice that there's some areas that are heavier than others. And then kind of like, how can you change things to kind of even that out? Relax. You can feel the weight of your feet resting on the floor. The force of the weight of your feet resting on the floor. And you can sense the floor beneath your feet and how that floor is exerting an equal and opposite force up at your feet. Now sense out to about a foot around your feet. You know, like make a little circle around your feet on the floor and kind of like feel the floor all the way around your feet. And now to try to expand that awareness to the entire floor of the room that you're in. You know, can your mind sort of picture or feel or sense that plane of the floor of the entire room that you're in? Sense out to the walls of the room that you are in. The wall before you, the wall behind you. Sense into the space that exists in the room between the walls and you. Take another deep breath in. Let it out. Sense into your body and the perimeter of your body, all of your skin, the edges that you define to be you. Sense into the chair below you and how the force of you is pushing down on the chair, and that there's an equal and opposite force that the chair is using to support you. Sense into that connection. So I invite you to leave your focus down here at where the chair is supporting you. And now I'd like you to kind of focus into your lower part of your spine, or even that half an inch that you're truly sitting on. And can you engage your body, again, like that giraffe, engaging your body and just lifting up, but just from that bottom portion, even just from that last half inch, you know, but can you engage the body to kind of support your body off of the chair? And then come up to the just including the pelvis, right? Can you engage the entire pelvis? Just that you're embodying and lifting up from the chair. And now from just this awareness, make a small circle to the left. And feel as you make this small circle, slow it down even more, make it even a little smaller. Do you notice the amount of different muscles, fibers, tendons, fascia, that each take their turn passing the motion to their neighbor? And now change directions and make a small circle to the right. And notice how different this feels from the other direction. And again, slow it down until you're making this smooth circle. And you might notice that some areas aren't as smooth as others. Slow down even more on those sticky bits and see if you can smooth out the motion. See if there's something else you can engage or create space into or lengthen to kind of get into that and explore it a little bit more. And now you can let that settle down. And we're still lifting and engaging, but now we're going to lift all the way up through the middle of our spine. All the way from the top, we're going to be focusing on the top of the pelvis to the bottom of the rib cage. And engaging and lifting through this area. Take another deep breath in and invite that breath straight into that spine, straight into all the little discs in between each vertebrae. And draw that breath into those little discs. You might even feel them inflate just a little bit. You might feel all your muscles just taking the weight of your body off of your joints. From that awareness, now make a small circle in just this middle part of the spine. Just trying to make it in this middle part of the spine. Again, nice and slow, not too big. And again, if you find areas that aren't as smooth, just try to see what else you can explore in that area. Slow it down if you need to. Now make a circle to the other side. Again, just sensing in the amount of different fibers that are taking their time to be in. And now let that settle out, and we're going to be bringing our attention to the top part of our spine, our rib cage and up to the bottom of the neck. So again, bringing that engagement all the way from the root of your spine, up through the pelvis, up past the belly button, up past the start of the rib cage, and into the top part of the spine. Take a deep breath in and allow that breath to come into the spine, lengthening the spine along that vertical axis. And you might feel like giving it a little lift up from the front of your spine, up from your sternum, the chest bone. Kind of lift a little bit more from at the front of your chest. And as you do this, you might notice that your shoulders rotate down and back. And as they do this, you might notice some muscles in your back. And allow them to engage and just draw the shoulder blades down just a little bit more. Just really slowly, just a small movement, but draw those shoulder blades just a little bit down, maybe a little together. Feel the gentle stretch down like the neck and the back of the shoulders. And feel the energy of this posture. And you're lifting up through the spine, up through the front of the chest. There is an energy of confidence. There's an energetic quality of holding the spine fully engaged and lifted, where we're holding the weight off of our body. From up here now, just a small circle up here. Your shoulders might get involved. Just slowly explore. Explore the nuanced motion all the way around. Change direction. Explore how the shoulder blades shift down and back, and when you come forward, they come up. And now, on the next deep breath in, just let that motion settle and reconnect all the way from the root up to your neck. And now just sense into the music a little bit more. Just feel that and just allow your body to just sway. So you're engaged and you're lifted. But now you're just kind of moving, swaying back and forth, and noticing how your body is going to support itself stronger on the left and the right as your body changes. You can use some mental imagery as well. Like you're a blade of grass. And this blade of grass is rooted firmly in the ground, but it is growing tall up towards the sun. It is lengthening and stretching towards the sun, effortlessly drawn towards the sun up. And yet the wind is blowing, the breeze is blowing, and it's swaying back and forth, fully lifted and engaged. I want to connect with myself in a new way. I want to connect with my body in a new way. All right, now that we're fully engaged, fully, like everything's really woken back up, just sense in as the listener, sense in as the observer, let the motion settle out, and then just like feel how different energetically you feel. Like, is there a different sense in the body? Does it feel more woken up and connected? And then we're going to massage it out. So just, relax it all down. Just, hunch over, do whatever you want. Take your hands, rub them, take your palms, work them into your spine. Rub them down, those big, strong muscles running down the back of the spine. Rub your palms into your stomach, into your torso. Stretching to the left, the right, forward and back. Be the receiver. Feel the release of that. You know, we energetically stored up energy in the body, and it feels really good also to release it. Remembering to breathe. All right, so when you feel like you've released anything that you'd stored up, settle right back into where you were. And again, just quickly kind of like settling back into engaging from the lower spine, engaging back into the middle spine, engaging back through the upper spine, and lengthening up to the top of the head. At this time, I'm going to change the music to something a little more crazy. I like sticking with strange and different music because I think it helps confuse my brain. Let's turn that off.
Looks like you lost another one.
Okay. So, again, we're going to stay in this, we want to stay in embodied awareness of where we've been in our spine. But music is universal, right? Like every civilization throughout all time, there's something about it. There's magic to it. And even if you have bodies that aren't that fit or functional, if you make the movement well enough, you can enjoy any rhythm. So remembering to breathe and focusing in on that spine. In a very small, challenge yourself to go small, and yet, how would you sense into this music? How would you express it in your body? If your spine was a ribbon, from the root of your spine up to your neck, if that was a ribbon, which it is, how would it be moving this vibration? And remember to keep the movement as small as it needs to be for you. Right? Movements at a centimeter are great if that's where you can be fully supported against gravity. You want to fully be holding yourself and the weight of your body off of your joints and engaging all your subtle fibers, waking up that sleeping fascia, waking up small tendons and muscle fibers that have been long forgotten. Music is universal. Rhythm is universal. If your thinking mind jumps in and thinks you're not doing it enough, I assure you, you are. If your thinking mind jumps in and thinks that you might not be doing it right, I assure you that you are. Lengthening through the spine and expressing the rhythm. You can lean forward a little bit as long as, again, you're engaging up through the muscles in the front of the body and supporting the entire structure. Always supporting against gravity. All right, I want to let that settle out. And just let all your emotions settle out. Again, rub it out. If you got your muscles to work out, let it all collapse down. Stretch it out. Stretch out as needed. Use your hands. Be the receiver. When you're doing massage, be the receiver of that action. Try to not be your hands. Try to be enjoying the feeling of massage. Take one more deep breath in, thanking your body for entertaining you for a little bit. And when you're ready, please open your eyes and return to the room that you're in. Okay. So, I will say that my normal close is just that movement does not have to be torture, right? It can feel good. Koga creates for me the mental space to be impressed with my own body. The smallest actions can be expressive, and it can feel like the body connecting and expressing, you know, so find a way to be impressed with all that your body can do. And if you go deep enough, I guarantee you that you'll be impressed with yours too. Because if you're alive, there's more going right with you than wrong with you. So let's focus on that. So with that, I am going to try to stop the recording, but I don't know how.